you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
They run it with Bigsby again to the left side. He gets loose. He's into the end zone. Touchdown. Tank Bigsby has scored on an inside handoff, and the Jaguars have taken the lead with 6:46 to play in the ball game. He drops the throw. Levis fires toward the right corner of the end zone. Incomplete. It is an incomplete pass. Darnell Savage had the coverage on Nick Westbrook-Tatine, and the ball's going to go over on down with 1:11 left to play in the ball game.
It just feels great. Feels great to get back in the win column. It's been a while. Hats off to the players. Battled their tails off.
The defense really giving us a chance throughout the game, and the offensive line, Cole for stepping in there, first start. So just all that stuff was really good, and thought the guys responded, and we didn't quit this time, which is really important for us moving forward. There was no quit.
I just want to say that I appreciate every single one of you, because what we've been through and continue to we got games left. This is not easy. It's not easy, but you find ways, right? It's proven right there to find ways, whatever it looks like, right? Defense, you balled your ass off. We got to get it back, okay? We got to get it back. So you ready? 1, 2, 3.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Tom McManus, and Dylan Denmark.
All right, good morning, everybody. That's what it sounded like after the last Jaguar victory, 10-6. Exciting one over the Tennessee Titans, as Doug Peterson said. We just find ways. You find ways to get to 3 wins on the season. That's
find
what we
ways
find
to
ourselves.
10 points.
Wow.
Huge.
Hey, it was a good defensive showing.
It
last
was
time. I'll give him
a
that.
great defensive show.
I hope you fellas
Minus
had a Merry Christmas, Tony Smith and Tom McManus and Dylan Denmark.
Merry
I
Christmas.
smell that now.
Yeah.
You smell it, right? Somebody got some freaking
I'm not kidding. I was like,
somebody
I
got
smell that now.
cologne for Christmas and poured it, took a
jeez.
bath in it this morning and
Whoa.
came in the studio. Just telling you, I don't know if it's
Anyway.
Hicken or a guest.
Who knows? But it's
But-
funky.
Brother, I can barely breathe.
I know you were. I was like, man, I don't
You're
smell it.
like,
All of a
you're going to
sudden,
be
I was like,
watching you on YouTube thinking somebody let it go, but
Right.
no.
Right.
Somebody spilled a bottle of cologne all over himself.
Drop some cologne.
My gosh, man.
Yeah.
Whew. So if I stop being able to speak, you'll know why.
Yeah. Speaking of cologne, one of my funnier moments with my buddy Joey up in Chicago was when he called me on Monday Night Football and Del Rio was the head coach. And the first thing he said was, I can smell his cologne through the television.
Wow.
He was in his leather coat and the nice hair and all that. Jack always liked looking good on the sideline for sure.
Hey,
Good-looking guy, man. I don't blame him.
So?
I don't blame him. Anyway.
I thought a lot of people like the leather coat. A lot of people like the suit as well,
I don't know
afraid to
what I'd
mix it
wear.
up.
What would you guys wear? Would
On
you
the
wear a suit?
sideline?
Yeah, if you were the head coach.
I'd be so Belichick, it'd be
You
wouldn't
would.
be funny.
Hoodie.
I'd be
Yeah,
cut
I can
off,
see
cut
that.
off.
Yeah,
No,
I
just
could
cut
see
off
Tony in the
sleeves.
hoodie, too.
Yeah,
like,
or that kind of thing.
Yeah. I would want something more fitting. I'd want to show off my physique.
Depends on,
I know it's so vain, but I would.
If I were going to be on the sideline, I'd be in the gym all the time. I would. You know, like I'm that.
Yeah.
I'm going to
just to
coach an
stay-
NFL team ever.
It's fun to play hypotheticals from time to time.
Yep. I used to wear my Angry Birds shirt when I coached the soccer team. Of course, we called ourselves the Angry Birds. My first season as a soccer coach, we were dominant.
Were you really?
Oh, we were destroying 6-year-olds' hearts and dreams.
I went
and
0-11.
lives. Did you?
I did.
It's all about
I was
if
a
you get the
terrible
good
coach.
kids at that age.
True.
Yeah, one kid, like when they were 6, we had this kid, Steven.
Yep.
Just go out there, name how many goals you want today.
Yeah, right.
I want 10
That's
out
nice
of you.
to have.
And he'd just go bing, 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 bing around all the kids and score. Some kids are more advanced.
We actually took him out to pizza, and the kid that was like that on the other team, we called him Red Shoes because he wore red shoes. And I said to my boy Rob, I said, hey, look who's over there, Red Shoes. And we literally sat down with him and his mom and recruited him for the next year.
Did
He
you?
came on our
And
team.
he came over?
Yeah, then we started.
We're going to have more fun.
No NIL money back then, but just, hey, you want to come play for us? And it was a yes.
And the story of your season? Was the Red Shoe Diaries.
We did great. Yeah, we did great.
Man,
I don't know if we went undefeated, but we did really well. He was a stud.
We
He
had,
was unbelievable.
they didn't really technically have wins and losses back then. Our
But
kids
we did
knew.
inside.
Our kids
Hell
knew.
yeah.
Like if it was close, they'd
That's
come to
for
me.
losers.
Did we win, Coach?
Yeah.
8-6.
Yeah.
We got you. Don't worry about
We like
it.
winner's mentality.
It's all good. Your coach was keeping score. All right. So anyway, hope everybody had a happy Christmas holiday, and or if you're into Hanukkah, that's
right.
Ongoing, whatever the case may be.
Day 2 of Hanukkah.
The festival of lights going on. So it doesn't always fall at the same time.
Yep.
Hey, whatever, man.
No doubt.
I saw the Bob Dylan movie.
Oh,
yesterday.
you did? How was
good.
it?
I liked it.
Good, because what's his name? Portnoy's like good, not great. It was his review. Was it great or just good?
Portnoy. That's who you're going to.
I saw him on Twitter. I see him on Twitter.
Gotcha.
He watched the movie. I didn't watch it.
I thought it was good.
Okay, but not great.
I mean, I didn't come out of it saying that's one of the greatest movies I've ever watched.
Did he pull him off?
Yeah,
Timothy Chalamet, did he pull him off?
I thought so, yeah.
Okay.
I thought he did a good job.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, he had a long on and off relationship with Joan Baez. There you go.
Who knew? Oh, I didn't know that.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Not me, anyway. Maybe Tony did.
I had no idea.
That documentary, Greatest Night in Pop Music, when Stevie Wonder teaches him how to sing the We Are the World. No, it's true. Have you ever seen this? It's a true story. He didn't know where he fit. He couldn't get his part down. So Quincy Jones and Stevie Wonder took Bob Dylan to another room, and Stevie sang it like Bob to show him how to sing it. And then he went back in and did his part for We Are the World. It's pretty cool.
I'm going to get around to that because
that's a great
you've
documentary.
mentioned that a few times.
Yeah, very cool documentary.
I love a good doc.
But I want to see that. I want to see, what's it called? A Rolling Stone? Like a Stone?
No, A Complete Unknown.
A Complete Unknown, right. Close.
Well, it's one of those lyrics.
Somewhere in there.
I got it. It's called the Bob Dylan movie.
Yeah.
That's all. So anyway, it was fine, Packed. The movie theaters were packed yesterday.
Yeah.
Good.
That's how they go.
My family tried to get me to go to Wicked, and I was like, nah, I don't think I'm going to. And my wife afterwards, she's like, you'd have fallen asleep in about 30 minutes. She's like, it was great. I loved it, but it was long, and you'd have probably walked out or fallen asleep.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to see that one. No. And that's fine. I mean, look,
it's okay.
If you like it, go ahead. I don't care.
No doubt.
It's very popular.
I introduced my family to a cool Christmas movie called Lethal Weapon, and that was pretty awesome. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I forgot about the nude scenes in the very beginning.
Yeah.
The very beginning, you see a woman's breast, and then you see Mel Gibson's backside. And my family, what is this, Dad? I'm like, no, it's over soon. It's over soon.
All right.
Well, it's a Christmas movie.
I saw Taylor Dahl tweeted out she had never seen Die Hard before.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I
don't think of it as a Christmas movie.
That's the whole thing.
It's
It's
a
a hot
thriller.
dog, a
It's an
sandwich.
action
People
thriller.
just like to
Saves
It's a
the world.
Christmas thriller.
Yeah.
It's set at Christmas time.
It's got a theme of Christmas behind it.
Who cares?
I know.
If you want to call it a Christmas movie, call it a Christmas movie.
I call it a Christmas movie.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's because I watch it every year at Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Christmas movie.
Fair enough.
Like, the season puts me in the mood for Die Hard. Not that I'm never not in the mood for Die Hard. I love that movie.
Why doesn't Lethal Weapon do it for you? Because that's
It does.
Oh, it
Lethal
does.
Weapon's on the list.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cool, Tone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's one of my favorite.
We're here to talk anything other than the
Jags.
subject at hand.
You mean our 3-12
I mean,
Jags?
let's be
No,
honest,
let's get
right?
into it.
It's
Let's
Will
hear
the game
other
on Sunday be as bad as it was
reasons
last
why.
night?
I hope it's not as bad as it was
Holy
last
cow.
night's was worse than the Jags 10-6 win.
Oh, yeah, it was brutal.
Last night was
that rain.
just
Holy
awful.
moly.
I didn't even think the rain was that bad.
When they showed it from coming down, off the lights, man, it was pouring.
When they showed the low-level shots, I don't know. I guess it just didn't seem like it was that daunting. But regardless, once again, Chicago goes through the exact same thing that got Eberflus fired.
Yep.
You get a first down. Don't go. You want to save your timeout. You burn all this freaking time. It was unbelievable how that played out. They're down 3. If you didn't watch it, good for you. You still have working eyeballs. Okay.
Right.
They get a first down at the 40-yard line of Seattle. They're down 6-3. Need a field goal to send it to overtime. And the play, the catch, the tackle, he's down with 1 minute and 1 second left.
Yep.
They don't call a timeout. They have 2. They've already burned 1.
Yep.
Trying to go back and forth. Right? Should we punt? Should we not punt? Should do? And so they go for it eventually, but waste the timeout.
Yeah.
Get the first down. Get up there. Don't want to call their second timeout now. So the 24 seconds come off before they snap the ball.
Bad.
And then they throw it incomplete, which takes 6 seconds. So 30 seconds went off. Now the clock stopped. And just like the Jags. I mean, this is just like the Jags, right? We got to play inside the red zone. We're like dancing. were doing anything but getting up on the ball and getting the next snap.
Now is a good time for another timeout.
Yeah.
And so they, with the clock stopped at that point, they burn the whole play clock down, and they have to call a timeout with 1 second on the clock. So instead, we're going to save it at 1:01. We don't want to save that whole minute worth of time.
Right.
We'll burn it down, and then we'll call it with the clock stopped, and then they ended up throwing a bunch of incomplete passes. And
unbelievable.
That was that.
I'll tell you what reminded me of our Jags. I didn't watch the whole game, but I watched part of it. And Caleb Williams made a throw across his body for a touchdown. It was an unbelievable throw. You know, we've seen Trevor do those. We've seen the guys do that. Holding.
Take it off the board, right. That was the closest they got to doing anything. Yeah. They kicked the field goal on that drive.
That's right. That
was their only points of the night.
It just made me think of our Jaguars. You know, like, come on, man. You get down there, you make a good play, and then somebody does something, illegal formation or a false start or a hold or what have you. You know, it's just – it's tough to win like that.
Bears had a defensive touchdown taken off the board, too, although it was the right call. Right?
Yeah,
I mean, clearly he's down by contact, but one of those that they let play out. And even Kyler Gordon didn't think he had a chance to have, you know, he's just kind of like laughing as he runs in the end zone. And then like 15 seconds later, they're like, no, that's a touchdown. And then they reviewed it, obviously. Crazy. So, wasn't the most exciting one, but that kind of followed up the example that the Houston Texans and their amazing quarterback, C.J. Stroud, who led up to 0 offensive points on Christmas Day.
Yep.
And
he's having a sophomore slump, I think.
Well, that's what they're saying. Is it so it's just sophomore slump?
We don't know.
I know.
We don't know. I mean, here's the deal. I mean, this happens to a lot of QBs, right? Once they get you on tape, they figure out what your weaknesses are, and they're going to attack them.
But did you watch on Christmas Day?
I watched a good bit of it, yeah.
He
absolutely.
was just he was sitting back there with time with wide open guys.
He's
missing them left and right.
That means he's seeing ghosts and he's rattled and he's tired of all that
doing
stuff.
Something.
Right? So can he bounce back from it's the question. We don't know until next year. We'll find
Let's
out.
hope not.
Yeah, right. I mean, you know, there are quarterbacks that have great rookie years, come down their second year, and then find their way back.
Certainly here in Jacksonville, it was fun to watch all of social media refined C.J. Stroud ranking himself this past offseason as the number 3 quarterback in the NFL. Yeah. Like, he's ranking himself the number 3 quarterback in the NFL this offseason.
Yeah. Well, some people call that karma. Some people may call that God giving you some humble pie a little bit. I don't know. But, no, he's had a tough year, but good. Who cares? We're happy.
Right.
We're happy. That,
I hope it's a sign that he had a freshman fluke instead of a sophomore slump.
Yeah.
You know?
And the slump is not – I guess that's a term that's just used, but I just think they figure you out.
In some sense, it makes the 2024 Jaguars season and everyone else in the AFC South the year that much more disappointing.
Yeah.
Houston is not a world beater.
No.
Right? They just happen to be at the top of this pile of nothing in the AFC South, and we'll see what they get done in the playoffs. It looks like the likely matchup is Pittsburgh, and that's another team that right now is just kind of limping through the last couple weeks of the season. So who knows what that playoff game would look like. But there's a real chance that Houston, again, will not win a playoff game this year, but they're going to be the AFC South champion.
Yep.
Right? Yep. When all those things are going on. They got that Cleveland team last year, and they found a way to win that game. So they did win a playoff game last year, but they are – man, if I was in the AFC, that's the team I want to play right now.
Yeah.
Give me all of Houston.
No doubt.
I'm not scared of that at all.
I think when you're missing open guys like that, they've gotten to you. You're either overthinking or you're worried about getting hit or
something's
up in your head.
Something's going on. Doesn't mean you can't recover from it, but let's hope he never does.
No, right.
Emily,
absolutely.
That's the way I feel about it. All right. So today we are not in the Christmas spirit because we're forcing you back into keys to victory. Okay. We're just not going to be in that Christmas spirit today.
Okay.
But end of the year here, final home game. What do the Jags need to do to claim victory? Now, victory is different for different people, however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
But, I approach it with what do they need to do to beat Tennessee? But others may look at victory as securing the best draft position possible. Somebody already said, Scott, on Twitter, hey, defense, Google neutral zone. So that would help. That'd be a good start. Just no pre-snap penalties because we're lined up.
And then keep him on the field because, what the heck? He learned his lesson.
Hey, yeah, right. After the second one, I'm sure he won't do it a third time. It'll be fine. All right, so if you want to get in today on the Garber Automall phone lines, you're certainly welcome to do that. We can talk about pretty much any aspect of Jaguar football. This is the last time we'll have Tom on in the 2024 calendar year.
Yes.
So if you've got some year-end thoughts on the Jags, or you're certainly welcome to share those with us, including what they should do as they embark on the 2025 calendar year, which, we'll know in about 10 days whether Shad Khan's making some moves or not.
Just don't remind me of my preseason record estimation.
I believe I had Detroit and Jacksonville in the Super Bowl. Like, do I homer up on those picks? Absolutely. But come on, that's just absurd.
10-7, man. Please, that would be like a dream come true if they.
Hey, but people ask all the time, how can you be so bad at this and have that job? My job's to host a radio show, all right? I'm not expected to be smart. At least I hope
That's
not.
right.
All right. So anyway, 641-1010, Garber Auto Mall phone lines, or the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Hop in the YouTube virtual studio chat as well, or on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, at Meathead55, and at 1010XL Denmark.
Go Tigers.
All right, here we go. Jaguars Today on a Keys to Victory Friday on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Awaken 180 Weight Loss. You want to start the new year off right? Well, how about actually succeeding with one of your New Year's resolutions? If you have a resolution to get in better shape, to lose weight, to maintain that weight loss, live a healthier lifestyle, all that can be achieved with Awaken 180. You will get in better shape because you're dropping all those unnecessary pounds of fat off your body. Their founder, Awaken 180's founder, Paige, developed a long-term solution about 10 years ago that can work for anybody, cutting through all the misconceptions of lose weight, quick gadgets, fad diets, medications. None of that is necessary. You're going to learn when to eat, how to eat, what to eat, how frequently, all those different things. And it's going to turn your body into a fat-burning machine. And if you follow Awaken 180's guidelines and hit your goal weight, they're going to give you free coaching and support for life. You could become the next Awaken 180 success story. Just hop online and schedule a free consultation at awaken180weightloss.com. Pick a resolution that you can actually follow this year. That's Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. It's the ultimate tailgate. Someone's going to win a tailgate combo pack from Southern Steer Butcher.
Valued at $100.
And it could be you.
Monthly winners get a Corona tailgate tent with a cooler, chair, and
collectible football.
Enter at 1010XL.com.
We're H-A-P-P-Y, H-A-P-P-Y, because Happy Honda Days are here. Everything is bigger. Bigger selection, bigger discounts, bigger trade-in values. Honda, quality, value, safety. Don't miss Happy Honda Days, going on now at your local Honda dealer.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. If you're looking for jewelry this holiday season, we have what you want at Underwoods, and we carry the hottest and best names you'll find anywhere in North Florida. The biggest name in designer jewelry is David Yurman, and his looks are more popular today than they were years ago when Underwoods introduced this designer to Jacksonville. And we carry David Yurman not just in ladies' jewelry, but also in timepieces in his extensive collection of men's jewelry. If it's a watch you're looking for, we carry Rolex and other watches considered to be the best in their price points. We also carry extensive collections of the jewelry we import directly from Italy and Spain that are always popular for their quality, style, and value. So if you want the hottest and most popular jewelry and want to be waited on by the most professional jewelry staff in the business, stop by Underwoods.
Underwoods, where customers are served with quality and respect. In San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra. Underwood Jewelers.
Huddle up this season at Hurricane Grill and Wings, where every day is game day. Enjoy their famous wings, new cocktails, and happy hour deals at the perfect spot to catch all the football action. Escape the ordinary. HurricaneWings.com.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Why do you choose Farah and Farah? First, we have the financial resources to take on any insurance company, and our track record proves that we know how to win. Our attorneys and staff are a team, and we've worked together for decades. To us, our job is much more than just a paycheck. We love to help, and this is important. We never forget. It's not about us. It's all about you. Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Zahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees, and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Sometimes you agree with him, sometimes you don't.
On the runway, I'm coming in hot.
CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco joins the Frangie Show Friday afternoons on 1010XL. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Get off the ladder and put on the helmet with Gutter Helmet of North Florida. We are family owned and manufactured locally. Cleaning your gutters is a dangerous and dirty job. That's why with Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. Water goes in your gutters while trash and debris go on the ground. It won't collect like filters do. Gutter Helmet protects. Call now for 10% off and a free gutter cleaning and tune-up with your purchase of Gutter Helmet. Call 904-762-7779.
How far is it from the surface of the earth to the core of the earth?
Is your home your most valuable asset? It is for most of us. And Southern Oak Insurance recommends an annual review. Log on to southernoak.com for more information.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
From the surface to the core of the earth is about 1,800 miles and has a temperature of over 9,000 degrees, hotter than the sun.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Hey folks, Dave Binion with Zero Res. I asked my wife what she wants for Christmas, and she said the same thing she does every year. She wants a clean home full of family and friends. That means the carpets, the tile and grout, the large oriental rug in our family room, and the huge sectional sofa that everyone loves to hang out on all need a good Zero Res cleaning. Give Zero Res a call and get your carpets cleaned for only $49 a room, and get your tile and grout cleaned for 25% off. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Frank Franzi here for Stanley Pools. You know, pool design has come a long way, and if your pool is outdated, Stanley Pools specializes in bringing older pools up to date for the whole family to enjoy. That's why I did it a few years ago, and man, I love the way my pool looks now after we added travertine pavers and so much else. Stanley Pools has been serving our community since 1988, so call them today at 269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mac in the Middle, Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
All right, on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, is the New Year's Eve ball going to drop on Trent Baalke and Doug Peterson's heads? Don't know.
That might hurt them. You don't want them hurt.
It goes so slow. You know, by the time it hits you, you plenty of time to react. Hey, you're like, ow, oh, all right, got to move. You know, I can't speak. You know, would I? I want a clean
me too.
slate, but you know,
it sucks that we're here. You know,
it does. But
I was just looking up during the break, like right before we came back on, trying to remember our wins. That's sad. Like, who we beat again? I had to go back and look.
Colts, Patriots, Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least a better brain than I do.
Well, no. Well, you said it. It took me a second. I had to think. Yeah. Okay. Those are the ones that we beat. Bears haven't won since they beat us, right? Pretty sure.
Oh,
Bears haven't won since they beat us.
Next week after that was the Hail Mary.
Okay.
Right.
And they haven't won.
That sucked the soul out of them a little bit right there.
That was when the guy was dancing in the corner, and then
the Raiders hadn't won in 2.5 months until they played us.
Right.
As well.
That's right.
So there was that going for them. And, you know, look, I know there are fans out there that want the Jags to win this week, and that's totally fine. I have no issue with any fan that says, hey, you know what? We get too precious few of these games. There's no guarantee of anything next year. There's no guarantee the third pick versus the eighth pick and their point. Right. And I get it. I really do. You know, you're just sick and tired of losing, and you want to experience a.
Well, it's Tennessee too. Tennessee at home. You know, you got to add that into the
especially
mix.
if you've been around for a while as a Jaguar fan. You know, if you're a young fan, you
don't care.
You know, I don't think you care particularly about Tennessee.
Yeah,
compared to you know, maybe the Texans. even.
Yeah, look, man, it's just a really unfortunate year. I want them to win. I want them to win every game, but just play hard. Do your job. That's what you're paid to do.
Play well.
Play well, yeah.
Right, play hard and play well isn't always the same thing, though.
True.
Right?
Play hard and well.
Yeah, play well in enough aspects. I mean, look, I don't think you can fix what ails them in terms of giving up big plays, right? Unless you play a guy like Will Levis, and I know he's not starting now. Mason Rudolph is, but when you've got a guy that is just in a slump or what, he's just inept, and their offense was inept.
Yep.
I mean, how many, obviously the Jags hold you down to 6. It was the same thing with Sam Darnold, right? When they won 12-7.
Right.
Sam Darnold made a lot of unforced errors in that game. You give credit to the Jags for, when they got the hands on the ball, they did something. They actually created turnovers. But Sam Darnold was not sharp in that game.
No, right.
That's kind of what it takes for this defense to have a good performance, I feel.
They've been the biggest letdown. You got to clean house. I hate saying it after a year, but how can you bring the coordinator back? How can you? I mean, it's just been an atrocity week after week
worst
after
defense,
week.
Arguably in team history. Worst defense in the league statistically.
Same mistakes over and over and over.
Big play after big play after big play. Yeah. Busted assignments, mental errors.
Yeah. But back to what we were talking right before break, the lining up offsides twice in a row, and the shrug off, and then the quarter ends. You got this big TV break, and then they come back and still on the field. It really bothered me. Like, get your ass off the – you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. What are you doing? You can't – I can understand if you're, like, in front of the ball, like maybe the front shell part of your forehead, maybe you're sticking over a tiny bit. But
or it happens once.
Down the line.
Right, even if, though,
I know.
One time.
Right.
Consecutive plays.
Right. He doesn't care. That's the problem, man. I don't know.
Well,
I think some guys
no
care.
Attention to detail.
Which means you just don't give it enough.
That may
care,
be the case.
I think.
Yeah, I mean
there are guys that do.
That manifests itself.
That he doesn't. I don't know. That whole it's a small part of it, but that to me that's part of the problem. Like it was why wouldn't there be any discipline for that? Like why would you just brush that off and be like, oh well, hope he doesn't do it again? Because 3 times maybe I'll get mad. You know what I mean?
No, I totally know what you mean.
All year long, same mistakes. I saw, what was it? It was Tim? Maybe it was Tim Jones. He again illegal formation.
Yeah, it was Tim.
Comes over to the line of scrimmage, and his coach is like kind of just talking to him like. I'm like, don't you get like that would? How many times, Tim, have you been in an illegal formation all year long?
And compared to how many snaps you played on offense.
It stands out because you keep making the same mistake.
Right, and you don't play that often. And, right. I mean, he must really be racking up the special teams tackles or something. I know they love him. That's what they say on special teams.
I see Caleb Johnson make a lot of tackles. Yeah? That guy, he's a good special team player. Good effort. I don't know.
The thing with this week, I mean, look, Calvin Ridley can still make plays on occasion, and I do think Mason Rudolph at this stage, you go back and forth. Mason Rudolph's no exceptional quarterback,
right?
But based on what we saw out of Will Levis the last time he played, now Will Levis has had his peaks. He's a peak and valley guy. He's more like a peak, valley, peak, valley, peak.
Yep.
More down than up, but his ups have been, he's had a few games of really high-level production in his young career. Mason Rudolph, I think, is just steadier, is going to hit the simple stuff more likely. But who knows, man? Tony Pollard not practicing so far this week, whether or not he's going to
He hurt us last time.
He did.
Not in points, but he ran.
I think Tajay Spears is pretty
he's good
decent back for them as well.
Quick, too.
And, look,
speed.
We're beat the hell offensively, too, now at this point. Your quarterback, your number one outside receiver, your number one slot receiver, your top tight end. Now you're the guy that you've deemed to be your left tackle, who I think most people feel like Walker Little played well when he was healthy, but this has been an issue for him, staying healthy for an extended period of time. So.
Yeah, he's fine. He's okay. I think Van Lanen and him are kind of the same tackle, in my opinion. They
paid $15 million to one guy.
I know.
Per year, and the other guy's a soon-to-be free agent.
Yep. Well, I think he's played himself into a good position. Maybe not here in Jacksonville, but somebody will want that.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to be able to afford to keep him, because at this point, man, I would be okay with him coming back as a swing tackle from what he's shown, right?
Absolutely.
And, who knows? Like, maybe they have an idea of where Javon Foster is in his development, but, when he's consistently inactive on game day, it's hard to believe that he is developed at the pace you would hope for a fourth-round pick.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
point.
you're right.
So.
You're right.
All right, 641-1010 if you want to get in on the Garber Automall phone lines, looking for your 3 keys to victory, whatever that means to you for the Jacksonville Jaguars as they get ready to take on Tennessee in Jacksonville's home finale of the 2024 season. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
If you suffer from constant burning, tingling, or numbness in your hands or feet, it could be a serious condition called neuropathy. I'm Dr. Nathan Riddle, DC with Riddle Wellness in Ponte Vedra. Neuropathy is treatable, and we have seen great results by using state-of-the-art, non-invasive therapies to target damaged nerves, reduce symptoms, and improve nerve function. Call 904-395-5598 to schedule your free consultation today and learn how you can live pain-free. Call 904-395-5598.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and DC 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank NA, member FDIC.
Hey, Florida drivers, the holiday season is upon us. When celebrating, always plan ahead and know all your options. If you drink, don't get behind the wheel. Instead, designate a sober driver or catch a ride service. And if you are the designated sober driver, commit to staying sober. Besides, a DUI could cost you $10,000. Not exactly the best gift you could give yourself. Celebrate responsibly and remember to drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, with the answers to the questions I'm asked the most. Yes, we are local, and no, I'm not hiring an actor to read these commercials. Check us out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
If you're looking for the best in indoor air quality, I've got the experts to call. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jaguars, specializing in the best air quality for your home or work with the Remy Halo. Instead of waiting for pollutants to travel through the ductwork to be neutralized, the Halo cell releases friendly oxidizers every time your fan blows air, helping those in your home that suffer from allergies and other respiratory issues. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and start enjoying cool comfort and clean air.
Every weekend is a Stone Cold Sports Weekend. Hey, Dan Hicken here. Watch for The Weekend with Dan on YouTube and Facebook, and I'll help you put together your sports weekend. Weekend with Dan brought to you by Stone Core. We do the outdoors better.
Budweiser reminds us to drink wiser, like hydrating between beers. It keeps the fun going longer, and it's a commitment to responsibility. Remember, good times are ahead, so no need to overdo it. Know when to say when, and always designate a driver.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Cigar smokers, All Pro Lyman Leon Cersei here for my favorite spot,
Cigars International. The Cigars International Superstore is now open at the Town Center, a massive 6,200 square feet with over 600 cigar brands, a full-service bar, and indoor and outdoor lounges with flat-screen TVs. Give their old-fashioned a try. It's the best that I've ever had. Follow on social for holiday specials and events. Cigars International is now open at the Town Center.
Now that's what I call high-quality H2O. If you want high-quality water in your home at a fair price that won't scare you to death, then talk to someone who knows water and is not a pushy salesman. Contact your local water boy, Keith. I install premium equipment and can repair or even rebuild your existing system. In a business known for aggressive sales tactics, let me show you how my approach is different. If you've got any water problems, contact the water boy at waterboyjack.com.
Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving? They can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson on if he sees a change in the Titans' offense since they made a switch at quarterback from Will Levis to Mason Rudolph.
No, I mean, still trying to push the ball down the field. Obviously, Calvin, some of the speed they have, and still the ability to run the football, screens. Tony Pollard, getting him the ball when they can, and I think one of the things too you're seeing is the defense is also creating some takeaways, right? They're taking the football away, giving their offense some opportunities, but not a whole lot. Still just running the offense.
Doug Peterson with a look at the Titans with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update. I'm Andrew Gibson.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
All right, on the text line, a couple coming in here, designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010. Any chance you guys can provide Shad Khan's home record, not including London, since ownership started? There's no one easy place. You'd have to go through like year by year. Suffice it to say, it's bad.
They have a terrible record since he bought the team.
Right. Yeah.
Obviously, the home fans have not been paid off. That's what made 2022 so incredible. In part, they haven't seen that. 17 and 22. Those are the only times during Shad Khan's entire ownership that the team has been any level of good. And the home record those years, I'm sure, was fine because the team was good. They're a bad team. They lose everywhere, but no, they don't win at home. Hardly ever.
No, they've won one time this year.
Right.
Last year, let's see, at home, how many wins did they have in Jacksonville last year? Would be your guess. Out of 9 wins on the season, I'm adding them up as 5 as you contemplate. Let's see, 1, 2,
4,
3, 4. They did have 4. Okay. Yeah, including the Carolina win at the end of the season with C.J. Beathard. So, look, if the point is to highlight that you haven't been paid off as a home fan, correct. You haven't been paid off as a Jaguar fan, for the most part, with few exceptions. Now, again, in my point of view, is that the only thing that Shad Khan owes you is the effort to put a winning product on the field. And you can say, well, he's clearly not doing that because he's not doing what I want him to do in terms of hiring and firing guys. That doesn't mean he doesn't think, I don't think you agree. If you're just worried about your bottom line and the TV money and valuing, 3 times the value of what you paid for the team or whatever it's worth. It's worth way more than what you paid for. Way more than what you paid for.
Maybe 8 times.
Maybe 3 is on the low end. I don't know what the exact calculation would be, but it's a lot. And you could have tighter purse strings if you don't want to just flash all this money around. Like Cincinnati's done it for years with rare exception. Joe Burrow being one of them.
Right.
But Shad Khan's given out massive contracts.
Absolutely.
That doesn't mean he's giving them out always to the right guys, but, has he hired great football people? I'd say no.
Yeah.
Look at the results. How can you argue that he has?
Right. He's not a winning owner, obviously. In the
Hasn't
NFL.
been.
Hasn't been. I think he takes care of the players, though. He does pay them well. But I even think that, because that matters, if your facilities and how you travel.
To attract talent.
Yeah, all that stuff matters. I think he does that. He just, I think for a guy that probably didn't know much about the American game of football when he first became owner, relied on other people that he thought did. And we all thought it, didn't we? Didn't we think he had a winner in 2022 with Doug and Trent? Right? That 2022 season was magical, man. The way they came back, the way they fought, the way they won the wild card.
Why wouldn't you think? We got a Super Bowl winning coach who coached that Super Bowl victory with a backup quarterback, in which they scored crazy amount of points. And, hey, we're excited. The offense, we had all that drama. And now going forward, we're not going to need the drama, right? We're going to be able to win these games. Instead of having to come back in the fourth quarter, we're going to enter the fourth quarter with these leads. And that'll be the big step forward. And it didn't take place.
And 2 years later, it's not working. So you got to do something.
Hey, look,
it's not, I don't know.
Somebody asked, can we fire the owner? Obviously, you can't fire the owner. I think they're being a little bit, tongue-in-cheek there. But that's, for some people, until Shad Khan does X, you can do that if you want to. Fan however you want to fan.
Yeah.
Shad Khan's not selling the team, though.
No.
Yeah. But you're just screaming in the wind. If you're talking about firing the owner, you're saying something that has no meaning, no real-world impact.
Right.
It can't happen. He's the owner of the football team. We understand your frustration with Shad Khan. I just looked it up. He paid, $775 million for the team. It's worth $6 billion right now.
That's about 8 times, right?
Right.
Probably something like that.
Yeah, 7 and a half,
obviously
8,
he's getting his investment back on the Jacksonville Jaguars, and some fans are going to look at it and say that's the only thing that's ever mattered to him. I can't convince them not to believe that if they still believe that. I don't believe that. I think he gets out of the way of his football people a lot. Too much, in fact, at times. But I think it's because he's not a football guy. So when these things start slipping, going wrong, the way that they're going wrong at different times during his ownership, I don't think he has real answers for what to do. He brings in Tom Coughlin. He thinks that's going to be, that guy can take care of all the football stuff. I don't have to think about it anymore. That blows up in his face.
Yep.
Right? They win the way they do in 2022, and they land Trevor Lawrence and all these different things that have happened. And they go through this offseason they just had where they do sign Trevor and they do sign Josh Hines Allen. Like, they're doing things we haven't seen this franchise do since the early days of the franchise. And it blows up in their face in that account, too. So, yeah, it's time for some kind of change. It hadn't happened yet. I expect that it's going to, but there's no guarantees with that kind of thing.
Yeah, and to be fair, though, I think the person texting in is just
venting.
Exasperation.
They're
Right? I don't think
venting. I get it.
I don't think they're like, hey, is there actually a way we could force them to sell the team?
No, but I think there are some fans who feel that way. And no, you can't.
Well, I mean, look, you're
just stop supporting them however you support them now. That's the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
This question for you, Tom, specifically on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. As I watch other teams, it seems like they have more of their draft picks on the field and they develop into solid players. Are we just choosing the wrong players, or are we missing the opportunity to develop them by playing the same mediocre veterans? What's more to add?
Well, I mean, look, I think with the year, the way it's gone, you want to see more of the younger talent play. Prince, the corner, would be a guy that you want to see more of, just one example. But look, again, I'll go back to the way great organizations are great. It's not just matching the talent. It's matching the kind of person, the kind of player, the kind of attitude with the locker room and the coach and the way he coaches. And I think they've missed on that, regardless of the talent. They've hit on plenty of picks. We could go through them. There's no doubt. There's plenty of good picks that Trent has made, draft pick and free agent. But it's not enough to where it's making a difference inside that locker room.
Let me ask you, in terms of player development, because I get it. The record is terrible. There are issues with this team. There's no question about it. We're not trying to deny that. But did Brenton Strange develop from last year to this year?
I think so.
Right? What about Tank Bigsby?
Yep.
What about Ventrell Miller?
Yep.
What about Parker Washington?
Yep.
Okay. Antonio Johnson, kind of ish.
Yep.
Anton Harrison took a step back this year.
Did.
It feels like, but we're pretty happy about him when he was picked. I mean, these are, your like five or so of your first 7 or 8 picks. Yeah. You had a lot of picks last year. The bottom, Cooper Hodges, who knows, because he hasn't been able to stay healthy, but they thought he could be a starting level player. Most of their 6th and 7th round picks last year have amounted to nothing. But that's kind of the nature of 6th and 7th round picks. Yeah. But that's a lot of guys that I feel like have developed.
Yeah,
here.
and the guys that have, like you mentioned, Javon Foster. Well, that I don't know what is going on there, but clearly he's not better than who's starting on the offensive line right now, or they would play him. They'd want to see him, especially at this time of the year.
Could he develop into a swing tackle level player next year? It's possible. We don't know. And I'm not saying that by the way, that it's all good enough across the board, because there are, has Devin Lloyd developed, right? I mean, is he much different than the guy he was the moment he got here?
Yeah, no.
I don't know if he has. He
hasn't.
There are guys you've had, I feel like Trayvon Walker has developed.
Absolutely.
Right?
Without a doubt.
Is Mason Smith getting, he had his best game last week. I don't think one game is enough to tilt it in one direction or the other, but Jordan Jefferson can't get on the field.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't understand why, especially at this time of the year. Look, Lacey, Ledbetter, they're okay. I'm not saying they're bad players, but you know what you got out of them. So why wouldn't you try Jefferson unless you believe he's not ready? And you're not going to throw him out there because he's just not ready to play at the NFL level. I don't know.
And this feels like one of these questions we get every year when they're having this kind of season. Why aren't they playing the young guys when everyone else does? I don't pay attention to what any other NFL team does with their draft picks throughout the year. I have no idea if what the Jaguars is doing is any different than what NFL teams typically do. I really do not know. I know last week that they talked about getting DeAndre Prince more opportunities.
Yep.
He had 6 snaps.
Yeah. No, you got to see more of him.
Right? Those kind of things when they say this is what we want to do this week, and then they don't do the thing that we're all saying, why aren't we doing, the thing with the guy? And then they say, that's what we're going to do this week, and then don't do it. It's like, well, why?
Yep.
Those kind of things come up every now and then. But as far as comparing the Jags using their young guys to other NFL teams, I don't watch any of the other teams the same way.
No, right. Has Cisco developed?
Felt like he was.
Like you thought
not
he was
this
going to
year.
be. No,
I don't think so. Not to the degree that I thought he should have.
Yeah.
I mean, look, sometimes, all organizations miss. I'm not saying he's a miss. They do miss on talent. They miss on, the pick. Just not. They don't end up being the player you thought they were going to be.
But at the same time, I think last year we would have said, why did we pick Brenton Strange? Can't get on the field, right? He's hardly playing, right? Yep. Look at Tank Bigsby. He's fumbles all the time. You've lost confidence in him already as your 3rd-round pick. And here we are a year later, and we feel like, despite the fact that Bigsby's fumbled the last couple of weeks, we feel like he's taken a step forward. Brenton Strange has taken a step forward. So, guys develop at different rates, too.
Yeah, and I at least in Brenton's case, you could say they missed that evaluation because he should have gotten more touches throughout the year. There's no doubt. I mean, he was showing that anyway. He'd get a play 20 yards, and then
but that's part of it, isn't it? Yeah. Isn't part of development recognizing when guys are ready for a larger role?
They didn't miss on him because he's developing. He's doing great, but they should have had him playing a lot more early on. And to be quite honest with you, Demps, I think you and I were standing there his rookie year, and I was like, that kid's impressive right there.
Yeah.
You could tell he was something because he was athletic. He was strong. You love the way he blocks. You love the way his tenacity. When he threw Calais out of the club, that was awesome, and you're like, all right, this kid's got he don't care who he's blocking. He's going to throw him down, So they should have played him. And then he shows it just by, getting the opportunity. Look, you got to balance it with Evan Ingram. I get that. And you got, we also have to keep in mind with money comes the political who's plays and who doesn't.
Sure.
Now, he's a high draft pick, Brenton is, so you'd be like, well, he's a high draft pick. Why? Well, because Evan, A, is really good, and they've got a lot of invested in him. right?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
So that does come into play when you're looking at different
and
talent.
that doesn't mean just like I think Brenton Strange is a good player. That doesn't mean I think they did the right thing by passing on offensive line at that spot, last year. When you had a guy like Osiris Torrance who started for the Bills for 2 years sitting right there for you to take.
Oh, I know.
And he was talked about as a potential first-round consideration for the Jaguars.
He was a beast. There is a beast.
Look, again, Brenton Strange is good, but maybe you would have had your succession plan in place for Brandon Sheriff, and he'd be starting.
That's fair,
already.
Mike. That's fair. I mean, you could say that on the defensive line too, right? You could, although they went with Mason Smith in the second round and Jordan in the fourth round. But, it's funny. They didn't really invest in the O-line, D-line, other than the guys that they've had. You know what I mean? I remember the first year, like Doug kind of brushed off having a real nose guard. Oh, we'll find a nose. They made Devon play nose. He's never a 3-4 nose. Devon Hamilton's not a 3-4 nose. You know what I mean? But they kind of forced them into it. It's like you play this. You can have all the bells and whistles, but if you don't have the guts on the inside, it's challenging. So, although look, I don't think I think our offensive line deserves a lot of credit this year. In a crappy year for the team, I think they've overall played fairly well. And I think Ezra Cleveland's played well. I think he's been really physical. I think Morris, I know he had a couple holding penalties. They said the 2 first in the year. I didn't know that, but okay. He's good. Sheriff is just,
I think he's had a decent season considering his age and how much he gets beat up.
No, I agree.
Look, they're not great in power run blocking. They're not great in moving people.
No, but they've kept their QBs
They
clean,
have done
man.
that. They have done that.
I like the way they've been playing overall.
On the text line designed by Lifetime and Culture, season tickets renew on the 20th of January. I'll check that. I'm not, I'll take that as gospel. Shad has until the 15th to fire Balky.
Okay.
What if he fires him on the 16th?
Yeah. Okay. Decide what you want to do with your money, man.
I get that seems like an arbitrary date. That to me is till the 7th. Like if you're not going to fire him on the very Monday after, maybe you're going to have some meetings and you're going to meet face to face and then announce everything on Tuesday at the latest.
Yeah.
And now that's regardless of what direction you're going in.
Yeah.
Fan base deserves it. These guys need to know where, their professional future lies. And candidates for those jobs need to know whether or not that this is going to be an opening or not. I think it needs to happen immediately. Like if he waits to the 15th, I think you're waiting too long. I just think it's interesting. Like if you're saying that the 15th is your deadline and they did a cleaned house on the 16th, that wouldn't work for you.
If you're someone that was going to buy season tickets and whether or not they bring back the guys is the determining factor. When they get rid of the guys, I got a feeling you're going to buy the tickets.
When they start winning, you start.
We'll see. I mean,
that's just
some will, some won't. Some people are like, "Hey, I've had enough of this."
Yeah, that sounds like a guy they fire the guys, I'm back in. Like that's what that guy sounds like to me.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's the date that is determining whether or not he's going to have the tickets. It's are those two guys coming back or not? It's going to determine whether or not I'm willing to spend the money on the tickets. If they're willing to change up front, I'm willing to come back in.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, but to put a date on it, I don't want to wait to the 15th.
Yeah.
No, I'm just I don't. Why wait the extra week?
Yeah.
Right.
Let's know so we can deal with whatever the reality is.
Yeah.
As a group of people, fans leading the way that care about what happens to this organization in the future.
Are you surprised at all that there hasn't been if he's firing Doug, hasn't done it sooner to see if maybe you got an interim? Or does that just show you? No, I'm not saying your opinion. I'm just saying, does that show where the owner's like, you know what? They're all gone. I don't even want to see an interim in there.
Yeah, I can't speak for what he's thinking about it. So I'd be
can't
guessing.
think what he's thinking.
I don't know. I mean, is he thinking that, or is he thinking I want to see it play out and give him every chance to see how the season finishes? And is this team still responding to him? Are they still fighting? Do they manage to win down the stretch? I would think if that were the case, last week's result is about as bad as you can get.
That was as low as you could get.
Team lost 10 in a row.
Yeah.
Before you came to town and you were the slump buster for the Las Vegas Raiders. That's just the way it went. All right, 641-1010 if you want to get in. Tony will take us around the league in the next hour. We will do a little Keys to Victory roundtable. We got our confidence picks. Only 2 weeks to go in that as well. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Tom McManus here with us in studio on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. It's the ultimate tailgate. Someone's going to win a tailgate combo pack from Southern Steer Butcher.
Valued at $100.
And it could be you.
Monthly winners get a Corona tailgate tent with a cooler, chair, and
collectible football.
Enter at 1010XL.com.
Prosser here. When it comes time to sell your home or you're thinking about selling your home, wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't you really love a guaranteed no-hassle home sale? But you don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it? Guess what? You can with Chad and Sandy. If you want to sell your home soon or immediately after the holidays, you need to get the process started now and get it sold fast, easy, and at top dollar with Chad and Sandy Newman. Local real estate experts I trust and recommend and have now for years. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Mike and Rosemary in St. Augustine write in, we needed to move on to a more affordable home in a specific school zone, but our mortgage pre-qualification wasn't enough and at a high interest rate. Chad and Sandy negotiated with a lender, lowered the interest rate by 1%, and increased our approval amount. We got the home we needed for $200 less per month than our prior lender's rate. That's what you get with Chad and Sandy. That guarantee. Call today, 414-6200, or go to chadandsandy.com.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Why is the Dead Sea so named? The answer next.
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The Dead Sea is 9 times saltier than any other sea, which means no living creature can actually live there.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
There are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Mia here. Since 1982, Closets by Design has specialized in creating dream spaces for every budget. My designer, Frances, made the process so easy. She came to my house and designed a walk-in closet that's not only beautiful, but also incredibly functional for me and old Beau Valentine. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation at 800-293-3744. Hey, and if you mention Mia or Helmets and Heels, you'll qualify for free base molding. Call today or visit closetsbydesign.com.
When you take a sip of Bold City Brewery's many flavors, you're taking a sip of this Bold City. In Duval, since 2008, they've been cranking out craft beer for 16 plus years now. So head to their production house on Roselle Street in Riverside or Bold City downtown and sample a Duke's, their legendary brown ale. 2 great IPAs, plus Duval Light, Killer Whale, and plenty more. It's all on tap at Bold City Brewery, downtown or in Riverside. Log on and taste the craft. BoldCityBrewery.com.
Hey, it's Tony from Tony D's Pizza. If you love our pizza and pasta dishes, let us cater an event for you. Family function or office parties, we can deliver you an amazing Italian meal. Remember, it's not just pizza at Tony D's. Bay Meadows and $2.95.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Dave Benyon here with Zero Res. Did you know that Zero Res does an excellent job of cleaning commercial carpet? We clean hundreds of businesses and churches all over town. If your carpet is due for a good cleaning, give Zero Res a call. For 1 week only, December 26th through the 31st, we are offering 20% off on all commercial carpet cleaning. We will be glad to come do a free estimate. Give us a call and take advantage of this great deal during the Christmas break. That's 20% off on all commercial carpet cleaning. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Mia here. When it comes to roofing, whether it be shingles, metal, or most repairs, there is one name that has protected your home since 1999. Pro Jax Roofing. Serving all of Northeast Florida, Mike and his guys have been repairing and replacing roofs for 25 years. Need insurance help? Mike's team can help. Raised in a military family, Mike provides great attention to detail with unparalleled quality and workmanship. They also have warranties, so you can have peace of mind. Call Mike today for a free estimate or online at projectsroofingfl.com.
Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
Make a resolution this new year to send all of your friends or family a Kuhn Flowers floral arrangement. RJ Saunders here with 1010XL, and okay, how about sending just one person you love a floral arrangement? Kuhn Flowers can handle it.
Here's your 1010XL local sports update, sponsored by USA Park Airport Parking. Next week, the city will host the 80th annual Tax-Slayer Gator Bowl on January 2nd. Heavily favored Ole Miss will take on Duke. Duke has quite a few players that have entered the transfer portal. Ole Miss head coach Lane Kiffin remarked on these circumstances.
I do feel for the people that are trying to prepare for a bowl game and they got their significant players going to other teams before they even play.
Jim Larrañaga is stepping down as Miami basketball coach following a slow start to this season, 2 years after leading the Hurricanes to their first Final Four. The Jacksonville Icemen of the East Coast Hockey League will face off against the South Carolina Stingrays home in Five-Star Veterans Memorial Arena this evening. Puck drops at 7 p.m. The Icemen are on the road Saturday and Sunday evening to take on the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. At your 1010XL local sports update, I'm Sam Nelson.
At 10:59, it's 67 degrees. Time at 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler, Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Tom McManus.
Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
Darnell Savage. Yeah, Savage. He's in the protocol. Wouldn't expect him. I don't expect him. Ventrell, same thing, ankle. Don't expect him to play. And then, of course, Walker. Yeah, everybody else is good.
That's Doug Peterson just a few minutes ago talking about the guys that will not be suiting up this week. No surprise on Darnell Savage, Ventrell Miller. His snaps had been reduced recently anyway, which is, I feel like he's outplayed Devin Lloyd this year when he's, maybe not the stats because he hasn't played the same percentage of the snaps. Yeah. I don't know. How do you feel about it as
I think he's your best cover linebacker for sure. I even think he should replace Aluakin in dime. There's a reason he hadn't. He had fallen off. It was kind of weird because he was hot and heavy, and then you're like, man, you're not seeing him out there. No, was it injury? Was it hitting a wall? Was he doing things maybe we weren't seeing? But every time I watch the tape, he's making plays. He's always around the ball. He can really cover, and that's a commodity, man, to have a linebacker from the inside that can cover just about anybody, out of the backfield. We had that with Eddie Robinson. Eddie Robinson was a great cover linebacker. He was good against the run. He was fine. He could blitz, but, man, you wanted someone to be locked down in coverage, you have to have a guy like that. So I think Miller's a guy that I would keep out there all three downs.
All right, we'll get more from Doug Peterson coming up here in a minute, what he has to say about the final home matchup of the season with the Tennessee Titans coming to town on Sunday. Let's say hello to our friend Fan Cam here on the Garber Auto Mall phone lines. What's up, Cam?
Hey, good morning and Happy New Year to you guys and all your colleagues at 1010. Great station, and of all the shows, you guys do the best job interacting with the fans here in Duval, and we appreciate all you guys do. I wanted to wish good luck to the finalists in your fantasy football leagues. You got 3 championship games going. I wish all those teams the best of luck, and thanks you guys for doing it. It's a bunch of fun for all of us. It really is. And an anecdote on our league, we've been going since we started rotisserie baseball in the late 80s, and we got a fantasy football came quickly after. We've been doing it 35 years, and our Super Bowl this year has one of the founding members from back then, and his son. He's playing his son who was not even born yet when we started the league. So it's pretty cool. And last week went according to script. We lost a squeaker at the end, and our 22-year-old studs had a huge day. Let's hope they throw the ball about 20 times to Brian Thomas this week. As I'm in a couple of those underdog championship rounds, and I got him going in both of them. You guys have a wonderful new year. Thanks for all you do, and go Jags.
All right, Cam. Thank you.
All right, fan.
Same to you.
Yeah,
We'll see. We'll make our predictions on what's going to happen coming up here shortly. But I think, there are, again, there's, based on the poll we ran like a week ago, it was 2/3, 1/3 in favor of draft position being more important than wins. But, I think even for those people, they want to see an entertaining performance. And then, however it falls apart at the end. I don't think you can fix their lack of ability to stop the big plays on defense. You know what I mean? The bust, but you've got to have a team that can take advantage of that.
No doubt. And we knew that Will Levis couldn't, the last time they played.
No, but you know what? Like, Chigakonkwo is the kind of tight end.
Yeah, he's a good tight end.
That can hurt you. He doesn't usually have big games because they don't feature him in the offense. Yep. Nick Westbrook-Akina has scored a ridiculous amount of touchdowns.
9, I think, right? Something like that.
On the percentage of how many catches he has. Right. It's absurd.
Yep.
Ridley didn't do much against the Jags last time and obviously ran out of bounds on that third
Pollard
down.
had a good day on us, especially in the second half.
He did, but he's so banged up right now.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, this could be another one of these 13-10 specials that they're dialing up this week.
Sweet. Can't wait to watch that one.
All right, let's hear a little bit from Doug Peterson. We'll start with what he needs to see out of his quarterback, Mac Jones, this week.
Play consistent football, right? Just execute the offense, lead the team. It really doesn't have to do more than that. Just, again, just control what he can control, put the ball in play, and do that. I think if he does, then and what we've seen, obviously, from him, great things and good things will happen.
Tom, did you see the response of Doug Peterson last week when he was asked about what can Mac Jones do to throw a better deep ball other than just throw it more accurately? Like, is there something he could do with it? Like, you're thinking, is it a footwork thing? Is it a timing thing? Is it, I don't know. There's some answer you can come up with, right? That you can, and maybe it's just time on task, working. The more reps he gets, the better it's going to be. And he basically just, for, 10, 12, 15 seconds went silent. Just,
oh, really?
Yeah, just like, I don't know. Like, even if you're thinking of, how can I say this in a way that doesn't chop down my quarterback and his confidence?
Right.
Isn't there something you can say in that instance?
Yeah, look, I think the logical answer with Brian Thomas Jr. is timing. I mean, Trevor didn't have it either all the time. That guy's so fast, you got to throw it at the right time. And he missed a couple of times. That double move that BTJ put on that DB, and he sailed him over
last week.
Last week. Yeah. You got to hit that right when he's open. But even look, I think it was last week. He threw a nice deep ball to Brian Thomas Jr., not the one for the touchdown. The one it hit him in the hands, and he didn't catch it. There was a holding call, so it was brought back anyway. It's down the left sideline. Mm-hmm. That was a great throw.
It was right on the hands.
Right on the hands. Just he didn't bring it in. So I don't know. I think initially, I bet you that speed is really overwhelming for a quarterback. Because think about it, especially if you got play action and your back's to him, and next thing you know, he's like 25 yards down the field. You know what I mean? Oh, man, I better get on it and really give it to him. And then is that timing screwed up, that type of thing. But I think they're honing it in a little bit better. It feels like.
They need to be.
Yeah.
Right?
I think
They've been playing together long enough now that, those kind of things should be getting out of their games.
Definitely.
Working with one another here over the last couple of games. We'll see. We've seen the attention BTJ's getting in the offense go up, which we've all been begging for since the season started, but he is finally getting that volume in the past game at least. Coach was also asked this morning about, look, we know fans are kind of here and there on what to expect out of the team this weekend, the result they want to see this weekend, but we know they want to hang out with one another for one more Sunday, right? The fans get one more home game, and Coach was asked what the final home game means.
It's going to mean a lot in front of our fans. It's just going to be a great atmosphere with Tennessee coming here and an AFC South opponent. to finish up our home schedule and to try to get a win. And that would be just, I think, for us, just huge. And again, a step in the direction of trying to finish the season the right way.
And then the follow-up to that, do you worry about guys checking out with only 2 games left and no playoffs out there hanging out as a carrot?
I mean, there's always the possibility, but again, I think that falls on me to make sure that doesn't happen and keep everybody engaged and the coaching staff. And again, once you play and you kick the ball off on Sunday, everybody's engaged and locked in, so wouldn't expect too much of that.
I don't believe that.
I haven't seen him quit, though, yet.
No, but there's too many incidents. Like, do you think they were engaged at the home opener against Cleveland? They're flat as can be.
Yeah, they have been flat.
Right there are plenty of instances where
multiple games.
Well, it's not just the Jags. Other teams, like, I don't think kicking it off is a cure-all for everything.
No, definitely not.
Do you think that the pre-snap penalties, right? Because it wasn't just Eric Armstead. Josh Hines Allen's lining up in the neutral zone, and then Trayvon jumps on the next play. Is that an indicator of a team that just is not mentally sharp and they're not, their focus isn't what it needs to be at this time of the year? Or is that just a team that's indicative of a team that's screwed up a bunch this year and this is just a continuation?
I think it's just a continuation. I mean, look, you got to take care of those little things like those pre-snap penalties. Those are unacceptable, Tone. You know what I mean? I mean, you could have one here and there, but they've had way, way, way too many on both sides of the ball. So, no, I look, again, I think there has to be, even with guys that are your star players, they still got to know that's just not acceptable, You jump off sides on a critical down. That's like, come on, man, where's your focus? It's attention to detail. You can't jump. You can't jump. So don't.
Can you jump?
You better not jump. And there should be a repercussion if you do jump. Not just, okay, oh, shucks, let's not do that again, son. Like there's got to be, come off the field, think about it, get your act together. You got to be, obviously you lost focus there. You got to be focused the entire game.
All right, we've got our picks for the remaining 13 games of the week coming up. But before we get there, we've had a few go down already. Tony's going to take us around the rest of the NFL.
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
Indianapolis quarterback Anthony Richardson did not practice on Thursday. He was listed with back and foot injuries. Philadelphia quarterback Jalen Hurts remains in the league's concussion protocol. Dorian Thompson-Robinson is expected to start for Cleveland this week, according to offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey. He has been limited in practice all week. Arizona running back James Conner has been limited in practice this week with a knee injury. His status for tomorrow is still unclear. The LA Chargers have listed running back J.K. Dobbins as questionable for this week as he continues to work back from the team's IR list with an ankle injury. San Francisco has placed offensive tackle Trent Williams on injured reserve with an ankle injury, and the Miami Dolphins are waiving Shaq Barrett from their reserve/retired list. If he is claimed on waivers, he would not be eligible to play this season, but if he clears waivers, he would become a free agent and would be eligible to play for whoever signed him this year.
All right, thanks, Tony. Let's do this. We'll take a timeout here. We'll come back, and we've got 2 weeks to go in our season-long competition contest to pick winners around the NFL. It's confidence picks straight ahead. Where do we have the Jags, and what do we have them doing this weekend is a big question. I'm still kind of debating it in my mind, I'll be honest with you, in terms of how this game is going to finish up on Sunday. And then we'll do a little Keys to Victory roundtable and wrap things up for the final full week of the 2024 calendar year. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL. It's the ultimate tailgate. Someone's going to win a tailgate combo pack from Southern Steer Butcher.
Valued at $100.
And it could be you.
Monthly winners get a Corona tailgate tent with a cooler, chair, and
collectible football.
Enter at 1010XL.com.
Do the Carver wiggle, 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 Carver wiggle.
It's the time of year all our customers love. At Garber Auto Mall, every 2024 must go. Take advantage of thousands in discounts on all new Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Ford. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Garber Wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Garber Wiggle.
Hi, this is Jeff Norman.
And I'm Mike Jones.
And we are the owners of Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning.
As we ring in the new year, we want to wish you all health, happiness, and success in 2025.
We're grateful for each of our customers, and we're here to keep things running smoothly for you. If you have any plumbing, septic, or AC issues, don't hesitate to reach out.
Our hardworking team is always ready to help, day or night. Happy New Year from all of us at Duck Duck Rooter.
This is the Mangler. Years of playing football coupled with lifestyle left my feet mangled with neuropathy. I was experiencing burning, tingling, and numbness. I spoke with 2 foot specialists and they told me there was no cure. They were wrong. I found Dr. Nate Riddle in Ponte Vedra. After utilizing his neuropathy treatment for only 2 weeks, I noticed a difference in my feet. I was regaining my feeling and balance. If you want relief from nerve pain, call Dr. Nate for a free consultation at Riddle Wellness, 904-395-5598.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Have you tried golfing at the improved Cimarron Golf Club? If you haven't, tell you what, you're missing out on the best deal in Jacksonville. Now, many of you have received a postcard in the mail, and of course, if you bring that with you, $45 plus tax to play. That includes a cart, lunch, and a beer at the brand new Stone Barrel Tap House. Now, go to the website, that is CimarronGolfClub.com, and sign up for the Wild One Loyalty Program. That's the Wild One Loyalty Program, and get all of these specials emailed to you from Cimarron.
For 79 years, each Gator Bowl game wrote a chapter in a story filled with excitement, celebrity, and a touch of drama. The game has seen iconic coaches like Bear Bryant, Vince Dooley, and of course, Bobby Bowden. Football stars like Larry Zonka, Archie and Peyton Manning, and Michael Vick. The 80th chapter features Duke and number 14 Ole Miss. Thursday, January 2nd in primetime on Bill Gay Grounds at Everbank Stadium. Tickets on sale now at TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com.
Bowl season is like a college football snow globe. And with 1010XL's Ultimate Bowl Challenge, you can decorate your life with $1,000 in jewelry from Beard's Diamonds if you win.
Let's do this.
Yeah. Get your picks in at 1010XL.com. The 1010XL Restaurant of the Day.
Moss Fire Grill in Riverside. Happy hour 3 to 7 with drafts, margaritas, and handcrafted bites starting at only $5. Moss Fire Grill.
See you on the rooftop.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents in 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank NA, member FDIC.
Hey folks, Dave Binion here with Zero Res. At Zero Res, we love rugs. We will treat your fine Oriental rugs with the tender and loving care they deserve. Gerard, the Zero Res rug manager, is one of the few certified master rug cleaners in Florida. If you want your rugs cleaned with tender loving care, call Zero Res. Right now, get your rugs washed and we will give you 25% off. Zero Res, spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Frank Franzi here for Stanley Pools. You know, pool design has come a long way, and if your pool is outdated, Stanley Pools specializes in bringing older pools up to date for the whole family to enjoy. That's why I did it a few years ago, and man, I love the way my pool looks now after we added travertine pavers and so much else. Stanley Pools has been serving our community since 1988, so call them today at 269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Pick it here for About 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of About 9. Visit About 9 Associates today and experience the difference. About 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mac in the Middle, Tom McManus. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. A better way to a better window on 1010XL.
All right, down to the final couple of weeks for our Confidence Picks contest for the season. Last week we had 15 games to select. Tom McManus put all his chips in on the Jaguars.
Yes, sir.
Getting a W. And they did. Cost you 15 points. You went 10-5 on the week. Good for 76. Tony Smith went 10-5 on the week. Missed Arizona on the 11-point line. Was his highest pick of the week that fell. Tony ended up with 92. And I went 11-4 on the week. I missed Philadelphia, worth 9 was my highest one.
Okay.
That went down. And I ended up with 95 points. So Tony and I came in tied last week. And now at 1275. Tony said 1272. Tom, you're at 1115 on the year. 157-68 for me, 155-70 for Tony and Tommy Mack, 141-84, picking them straight up this year. So, what do we got? 13 games this week. So, let's get to it. First 3 on the board. I'll take the Buffalo Bills against the New York Jets. I'm going to take Tampa Bay. Looking at Dylan's Breakfast Bowl team, he is definitely taking Tampa Bay as well, as he's got 3 Buccaneers on there. I'm going to take the Bucs at home versus Carolina, and I'm going to take Detroit, even with nothing much to play for on Monday Night Football versus San Fran. Tony Smith.
I will take the Bills on the 13-point line over the Jets, Indianapolis over the Giants on the 12, and the Chargers over the Patriots on the 11.
Ooh, okay. Tony. Nice job. All right, I got the Jags at number 13.
Of course you do.
I don't know. I think it's just going to click this time, Mike. Let's see. 12, I got.
Do you now? Tom's like, I know these guys aren't taking the Jags that high.
I got Buffalo at 12, and I got Washington at 11.
All right, Washington over Atlanta then on Sunday Night Football. I'm taking Indianapolis as well over the New York Giants, although not 100% sure who's going to play quarterback for the Colts at this point, but I don't know if it really matters against the Giants. I'd be shocked at this point if Malik Neighbors or Tyrone Tracy plays for that team. I mean, that's the way you preserve draft position. Guys are banged up. You don't play them.
Yep.
Right.
Down the stretch. I'm taking the Chargers like Tony over New England. And like you, Tom, I've got Washington over Atlanta. That one's worth 8 for me. Tony.
I got Miami over Cleveland on the 10, Washington over Atlanta on the 9, and Detroit over the 49ers on the 8.
Okay, Tom.
Tampa 10, Indy 9, New Orleans 8.
New Orleans 8.
Take a chance. Take a chance.
Hey, look, they're playing the Raiders, and we know the Raiders are not very good, but man, that New Orleans team is lacking. I'm taking Philadelphia over Dallas. No CeeDee Lamb. Probably should have moved them up the charts, but I did this earlier. I'm taking the LA Rams against Arizona on Saturday night, and I'm taking Minnesota over Green Bay on the 5-point line.
I will take Tampa Bay over Carolina on the 7-point line, Cincinnati at home over Denver on the 6, and the Rams over the Cardinals tomorrow on the 5.
Tommy.
7, Miami. 6, Detroit. 5, Minnesota.
And Minnesota. All right, final 4 picks. I'll take Cincinnati on the 4-point line over Denver. I'm taking Vegas over New Orleans, which should be higher, but frickin' it's the Raiders, right? They stink too. I'm taking Miami. I'm not as confident as you, Tone, because this game is going to be a slop fest, I think, and I think Miami's a finesse team, but ultimately I don't see Dorian Thompson-Robinson leading that team to victory. And I'm going to say the Jags over the Tennessee Titans on the 1-point line. I mean, honestly, I feel like this is such a coin flip game. I really do. Yeah. I feel like this is a coin flip game.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm going with. Jags are the winners. Tony.
Minnesota over Green Bay on the 4, Dallas over Philadelphia on the 3-point line, Jacksonville over Tennessee on the 2, and New Orleans over Vegas on the 1.
All right, let's go Raiders. Tommy Mack, final 4.
Philly, number 4, Cincy 3, Rams 2, Chargers 1.
All right, and of course, it's likely that Philadelphia is playing without Jalen Hurts, but I still think even with Kenny Pickett, it's battle of the backups. CeeDee Lamb's a big blow to that Dallas offense. Yeah. Right now, it's hard to run on Philadelphia. Anyway, we'll see how it all works out. We all took the Jags as winners this week. We'll give our keys to victory coming up and do our score predictions as well. But I go with Buffalo, Tampa Bay, Detroit, Indianapolis, the LA Chargers, Washington, Philadelphia, the LA Rams, Minnesota, Cincinnati, the Las Vegas Raiders, Miami, and Jacksonville in that order. Tony's got the Bills, Colts, Chargers, Dolphins, Commanders, Lions, Buccaneers, Bengals, Rams, Vikings, Cowboys, Jaguars, and Saints. And Tommy is going Jacksonville, Buffalo, Washington, Tampa Bay, Indy, New Orleans, Miami, Detroit, Minnesota, Philadelphia, Cincinnati, the LA Rams, and the LA Chargers in that order from most to least. Confident. What are you most confident in the Jags being able, putting aside the, desire to secure draft position, just going in from a football standpoint, what do you feel best about in a particular matchup between Jacksonville and the Tennessee Titans this week?
I'll make a prediction that Brian Thomas Jr. has a massive day, and I think he'll connect on a bomb. Mac will on a big throw, and I think he'll have at least 10 catches. So I think he's our best matchup, regardless of who's on him.
I mean, he is the reason for hope and optimism and everything else. Look, you're going to need more than Brian Thomas Jr., obviously.
Absolutely.
He's having an outstanding rookie season, and the Jags still only have 3 wins.
I'm a little concerned with Bigsby's fumbling, man. I know, one got recovered by Morrison 2 weeks last week. It's great run. I mean, he's running the ball great, but, man, you cannot be that liability. You just can't. And I know, sometimes it's luck, right? That guy punched it at the right spot in the right part of the football. It went right. It wasn't like he was holding like a loaf of bread.
No.
But it wasn't, man. You got to be really conscious. Like, again, that attention to detail. Man, I'm through the line. I got to make sure that ball's in, like, nice and tight into my grip.
And you wonder for a guy that it's been an issue. Right through basically the first 2 seasons here. It's the reason why he was so limited last year.
No doubt.
In his rookie year was the ball would hit the ground.
Right.
When it went to tank. And this year he's running much better than he did in his rookie year and is running well enough to be the featured back in the offense right now. But, I mean, I've never been in that situation where I'm trying to play a game at that kind of level and have that as something that has to be circling somewhere in your mind.
Yeah.
The fumble problem is like, I'm not a guy who fumbles. Like, I didn't do this in college. What is going on with this game right now? Am I just unlucky? I don't think guys at that level can just go around saying I'm just unlucky. Even if the other guy made a really good play, that has to stick with you somehow.
Well, and the defenses today, they're teaching
That's what they're doing.
Yeah, you go after that ball, not punch that ball. If
we were
punch
talking about
him in the
this
gut, too bad.
Last night, we were talking about this on my Sirius XM show that you live with now the occasional big play that you allow by missing the tackle.
Yep.
Right? And that because the value of getting that turnover or potentially creating that turnover is so much greater than, okay, so missed tackle, you got an extra 10 yards on the play. What would Tom Coughlin have felt about that approach?
No, we didn't. We focused on it a little, but not really.
In terms of forcing turnovers?
Getting the ball out. Well, yeah, we wanted to force turnovers by pressure,
terms of like prioritizing
and hard
punching
hits.
it out as opposed to actually tackling the ball.
Like smacking them so hard they fumble, kind of more like then punching it out.
Right. But, I mean, now it's like guys, like you get inside the 10-yard line, and if you've got a one-on-one tackle situation, it's just as likely, it seems like, that the guy's just going to try to pop the ball loose because they feel like, all right, even if I tackle you here on the 3-yard line, chances are you're going to score anyway.
And look, and here's the deal. Like, some of these hits are getting fined. And not just the defender. Who was the running back? Got fined like $40,000 for putting his head down on a tackle. Like, it's one-on-one. Like,
you can't lower your head to initiate contact with the helmet. That's the rule. I'm not saying
I know.
it is what it is,
I don't know.
you know?
So I guess you just let him. I don't know. Well, I guess you can hit him with your shoulder. I don't know.
There are ways for running backs to use their helmet as a weapon too. I think.
But that's same with the linebacker. I mean, we live by that.
I understand.
Smash him in the
but
face.
They do call linebackers a lot more.
I know.
On it, right? So I think it's fair that if you really feel like in that rare instance where the running back is doing that.
But to your point,
even
so instead of getting in front of him, jump on his side and try to knock the ball out. Who cares if he gets an extra 5 yards?
That seems to be the prevailing wisdom, right, in the NFL right now. 641-1010. Let's get Tom in Arlington wants to give keys to victory. Tom, good morning. How are you?
Morning. I'm good, guys. How are you doing? I hope your holidays went well.
Very well, thank you, and likewise to you.
Thank you. Here are my three keys. First and foremost, you've got to get the ball to Brian Thomas Jr. Any way you can get it to him, you get the ball in his hands. Let him take over the game. My second one is very broad, but play disciplined. I feel like we've lost a lot of games because of lack of discipline. And then third, I would say just go out there and have fun, let loose, and finish strong.
All right.
Now I'll tell you what worries me here is I feel like Mason Rudolph could end up having a good game against our defense. Honestly, he worries me a little more than Levis does, and I think back to when we played Cincy on Monday night. We were supposed to destroy them, but then Jake Browning ends up torching us for 300-plus yards.
No, good points. I mean, listen, if we don't get pressure on that QB, and a lot of them, most all of them can pick you apart. If there's no pressure, they don't got to fear getting hit and all that kind of stuff. So Mason Rudolph's very capable of making throws, and if you give him time and guys get open, he'll make the throw.
Here's what else he's capable of doing in his last 5 starts. 8 interceptions.
Yeah.
Right, including 3 his last time out. So
absolutely.
Granted, I do agree with the point, though, that at the moment, Will Levis has a big arm, but he's so inconsistent. At the moment, I would rather face Will Levis than I would Mason Rudolph. But I don't think Mason Rudolph is this high-end quarterback by any means.
Neither was Jake Browning.
True. Yeah. Jake Browning, though. You ever look at Jake Browning as a prep player? Guy threw for an obscene. He was one of the greatest high school quarterbacks that ever played. Yeah,
No kidding.
if you look at the old, I'm not saying that automatically.
Where'd he come out of? Kentucky or something?
Someplace in California. I
he's
think.
out in Cali.
He threw for 1 billion yards. You know. And I'm only slightly exaggerating. He is very high up on the. I want to say he's in the top 100 all time in terms of passing yardage nationally, that kind of thing. Anyways,
that's
neither here nor there. That doesn't guarantee you any success, not even at the collegiate level. Never mind the pro level.
Yeah.
Plenty of guys with that resume didn't do anything, so that's not an excuse.
No, right, absolutely. But again, if you give him time, he can hurt you.
Well, and that team had Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and at the time Tyler Boyd. And while Tyler Boyd is now on the Titans, he's not exactly making much of an impact. The weapons aren't the same. Anyway, Tom, thank you. Appreciate the
thanks,
call.
Tom.
And we'll come back. Let's do our own little keys to victory roundtable and send folks off into the final weekend of the 2024 calendar year. Mike Dempsey, Tom McManus, Tony Smith, Dylan Denmark here with you. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Get the new year started off on the right foot. You always make these resolutions that are hard to stand by, and you don't have the support you need, or you just don't have the drive to see it to the finish line. Awaken 180 can help fill in a lot of the gaps for you. They've got a proven methodology, a time-tested method that has worked for over 10 years with over 23,000 clients that have lost a combined 750,000 pounds. The big deal with Awaken 180 is free coaching and support for life. It was and still is the backbone of their program. That means once you hit your goal weight, you're going to get all the support and coaching tips and tricks that you need to keep you in that kind of shape for as long as you want to stay there. Awaken 180 Weight Loss can make those New Year's resolutions come true. So join myself, Matt Hayes, hacker, who've all had tremendous success. In fact, everyone I know who's tried Awaken 180 has, by being the next success story. Go online, schedule a free consultation at awaken180weightloss.com. That's Awaken 180.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
Open enrollment is here, so it's time to secure health coverage for your family. Whether you need Affordable Care Act plans, dental, or Medicare, visit one of the Florida Blue pop-up enrollment tents near you. They make the process easy and stress-free, with medical and dental insurance you can count on. Plus, listen to this. Based on eligibility, many people pay absolutely nothing for coverage. Find a pop-up tent in the Rose parking lot on Beach Boulevard near Southside, and at Night of Wonders at the Orange Park Mall. Here's a reminder for Florida Blue members. You can access Sanitas Medical Center with 3 locations around town offering primary care, walk-in services, an on-site pharmacy, and mental health support. 3 Sanitas Medical Centers and 2 convenient Florida Blue pop-up enrollment sites combined for a winning team in Northeast Florida insurance coverage.
We're H-A-P-P-Y, H-A-P-P-Y, because Happy Honda Days are here. Everything is bigger. Bigger selection, bigger discounts, bigger trade-in values. Honda, quality, value, safety. Don't miss Happy Honda Days, going on now at your local Honda dealer.
Hey, Florida drivers, the holiday season is upon us. When celebrating, always plan ahead and know all your options. If you drink, don't get behind the wheel. Instead, designate a sober driver or catch a ride service. And if you are the designated sober driver, commit to staying sober. Besides, a DUI could cost you $10,000. Not exactly the best gift you could give yourself. Celebrate responsibly and remember to drive sober or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
This is Jaguars Today Friday, brought to you by CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
Clean air, cool air, both are extremely important. Trust Florida Home AC to deliver on both with their Remy Halo, the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and breathe clean and cool air.
Grab your lucky spot on the couch, because traditions make Sunday easy to enjoy. Bud Light, easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Get wet with Captain Kevin. Whoa. And remember to bring your net on the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show.
Oh, that's a beauty.
Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Look at him.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Southampton invites you to enjoy a round of golf and then a round with your buds, thanks to their game day special. Every Saturday and Sunday during the season, order up 10 wings and a cold pitcher for just $22. Plus, being a member at Southampton has its privileges, like a $500 gift card when you join with a paid initiation fee. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Twilight golf every day with special rates after 3 o'clock. Don't forget trivia Thursday nights and music on the patio Friday night. All at the Golf Club of Southampton.
Lowe's knows how to help you save time and money, no matter the job. That's why we can deliver supplies to your job site as soon as same day, so you have more time to get the job done. Because when you need it fast, we've got you covered. Lowe's knows pros. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Hi, I'm Chuck Farah. We know how important it is for you to have a vehicle after you've been injured in a car accident. So when we represent you for your personal injury claim, we'll help you get a rental car from the insurance company while your car is being repaired. And we'll provide this service at no additional fee. If you're hurt and you've got no car, let my team go to work for you. Farah and Farah, protecting you and your family. Call us at 396-5555 or go to farahandfarah.com. Jacksonville.
Make a resolution this new year to send all of your friends or family a Kuhn Flowers floral arrangement. Or how about just sending one person you love a floral arrangement? Kuhn Flowers can handle it all.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars quarterback Mac Jones on what it's like to play with an emerging wide receiver like Brian Thomas Jr.
He's definitely one of the best ones I've played with, and you have to try and give him the ball, but also just see the defense and go through your reads. I mean, I could just drop back and throw it to him every time, I guess. We'll see how that goes, but I do think you have to go through, hey, maybe it's one play, he isn't the primary read, and he does get it or he doesn't. So for him, I mean, the challenge is to get open on every route, right? I mean, everyone's watching. They know when you're open and when you're not. And, yeah, I mean, a lot of our plays definitely start with BT, and it's because he's earned that respect.
Mac Jones on BTJ with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update. I'm Andrew Gibson.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, Jags started cooling down, I guess, in September is really what happened. Man, I tell you, rarely can you point to that one turning point that early in one game. That Travis Etienne fumble just changed. I don't think.
And the next play.
Let's say, right, obviously. The
Those
next
two
play.
together, I think, just.
It did. Yeah. And even though the Jags were still winning after that, it just felt like it had all gone to Miami.
It exposed the major Achilles heel team this team has, where they are just weak in these big moments. Right? Like, there is something fragile about this football team. It's been fragile all year, right? And that moment was the first occurrence of it this season, but they didn't recover from it in that game.
If they win that game, how much different is the season? One win different?
No.
I think they might have a little bit more.
Maybe four.
Early season. Four more wins?
Maybe. Get you to 7. Possibly. I mean, look, and again, you go back to the way they lose or have lost. Yeah. It's the same kind of way. Even when you get the lead, you give it up. You know, you make a mistake, you're out of position, you make a bad read, you slip and fall, whatever. It's just that's been the Achilles heel.
And I think the how would be a big factor in that, right?
Yeah.
Is it they don't allow the Tyreek play, on the next play, or is it they have the drive at the end to go win the game? And right. I think the drive at the end probably has a more lasting impact on, the team being more successful in those kind of moments this year. But they have found virtually no success in those kind of moments, and they've been put in that same crucible over and over and over again, and just not been able to come through.
Overcoming adversity, right? They have not been able to do that consistently whatsoever. And, that game hurt them. But, look, I don't know. You could have won that game. The first 4 you could have won. You could have won each one of them for the most part. There were a couple. You should have beat the Jets. Come on. You could have beat them. But you didn't. Again, it's the theme of coulda, shoulda, woulda, but didn't. That's what it feels like this year. So close, but yet so far away. And it's really, to me, what bothers me the most is I've never thought it was lack of talent. It was the attitude. It was allowing these mistakes to happen again and again and again. That's staff, that's players, that's the organization as a whole. Like, that cannot happen. You can't be killing yourselves every week and expect to win. It's just no teams can do that. You can't be minus 15 in turnover ratio.
The good teams don't do that.
No, they don't.
Right,
You're
and that's the difference. The bad teams do that. The good teams don't.
You're right.
And then there's a bunch of kind of mediocre teams that do and don't.
Right.
And the Jags are a team that just every time they've basically been given the opportunity, don't. And then the Kansas City Chiefs, every time they get put in that situation, they do.
They figure it out.
Right. They come through. The good teams do that. The bad teams don't.
Yep.
All right, Dylan, why don't you fire up today's 10-10 take?
10-10 take.
Now, Mike Dempsey's 10-10 take, brought to you by
Double checked, Cybersecurity made simple.
All right, we all picked the Jags to win in confidence picks, and even though Tommy has them on the top line, I don't know if his confidence matches the
they're
ranking.
Do it, man. They're doing it.
Full confidence.
It's all coming together.
It's all right, just like last week. Same degree of confidence. Yeah, exactly. You're playing the game, and that's fine. But we all do have the Jags winning. So how are they going to win if they do win this football game? I'll start out. Keys to victory number one for me is go against your nature and stop giving up big plays. Now, they didn't do it against Tennessee the first time, and that's because Will Levis couldn't take advantage of any of his opportunities. And the Jags played pretty good defense. Let's give them some credit, right? Look, they held them to 6 points.
Yeah.
You hold a team to 6. The Tennessee Titans have scored big points in a lot of losses this year. You know, some of them have been with Mason Rudolph, some have been with Will Levis. So I'll give them the credit for what they did, but don't turn Calvin Ridley, don't make this Calvin Ridley day. And don't let Westbrook Akina get loose. He's gotten loose for some big touchdowns on limited targets. Or Chigakonkwo, slice and dice through your defense for 40 yards on a simple catch and run. So try to fight against your own nature and not give up the quick strike big plays because I don't think Tennessee can sustain a lot of offense if you force them to drive the length of the field. Tony, what do you got?
Turn the Titans' miserable run defense day against the Colts last week into a trend. They gave up 267 on the ground to Washington a month ago. That was their second worst run defense day on the season because they gave up 335 to the Colts last week. I don't think the Jags are going to be anywhere near that kind of range, but try to turn it into some kind of trend here in the season. For the record, the Jags ran for 71 against the Titans 3 weeks ago, so at least double that kind of effort on the ground this week.
Yeah, I mean,
they had the effort, though. I mean, they gave Bigsby 18 carries in that game.
Take Mason out and get Levis in there.
Get him back.
No, but in all seriousness, I mean, look, I think both quarterbacks, neither one are going to wow you, with what they bring to the table. But if you keep either one clean, they can do some damage to you. So they give up 47 sacks on the year. We're still under 30. We're at 28 as an offensive line. So let's keep it that way. Let's get some pressure on Mason and Levis, whoever's out there, and let's keep Mac Jones as clean as possible.
I do think it's interesting, Tom, when you watch that last game. If you remember, Josh Hines-Allen gets a sack right before the half, right?
Yep.
Last play of the half, as a matter of fact. And Levis lands on his shoulder. I'm thinking, oh, no.
Right.
Did we just give Tennessee the keys to victory right there by knocking Levis out of the football game the way he was playing? All right, for the Jags, how about this? Brian Thomas is the obvious, right? Find a second weapon that works for you this week, whether that's Parker Washington, whether that's going back to Brenton Strange, getting him more involved, whether that's one of the running backs, or Tony talking about getting that running game going, somebody that can give you a threat other than Brian Thomas Jr. And, again, we're looking for ways that they can actually win on the football field, and I think that's got to be included.
I don't think that's bad. I think that's one where you're trying to change the Tiger stripes, so to speak, with what the football team is right now. So I'll add the BTJ thing for me. The key for him in this game this week is I think he's going to have that big play. At some point in the game, he's going to have that one. I think the Jags need 2 or 3 minimum from BTJ to be a team that's a real threat to win week to week right now, given all the other issues they have on their team. And Brian's one of the guys that is still playing hard. Snap after snap, he's playing hard right now. So I think they don't need one. I think they need at least 2 and maybe 3 of those 30, 40-plus yard plays from Brian Thomas Jr. this week.
I agree with that. That'll put a dagger in him. I'm going to go back to affecting the QB. Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker have had good years. They've been solid. I think overall, against the run included, they've had really good years. But we expect more in the sack total. They're not where they need to be. I think Trayvon is closer than Josh, but Josh is only at 7 right now, and he had 17.5 last year. He's got 2 games to go. I'd like to see them both end up in double digits in sacks when the year's over. So you better get on it. Whether you did 2 this week, 2 next week, or whatever, but you got to show that because we were all thinking, 14 sacks? No one was thinking 17 again for Josh, but at least 15, 14, somewhere in that
12
range.
at least. Yeah, right. I mean,
somewhere in that range.
Like you need to put yourself in a consistent category. If you want to be considered one of the elite and you're being paid like
They paid
you are,
like you're the elite.
then you need
So
to consistently
play elite.
be at a certain level year after year after year.
Agreed.
And I'm not saying he hasn't,
No,
played
he's been okay.
well.
But
He's gotten some
He
pressure.
hasn't been elite. He's
I
not been
agree.
elite.
I agree with that. All right, for me, Tom, you mentioned you think Ventrell Miller is the best coverage linebacker that they have. He's not going to play this week, so I think Devin Lloyd getting matched up, whether Tony Pollard plays or not, either Pollard or Tajay Spears is going to, again, this is not an explosive Tennessee offense most of the time, but their backs are capable pass catchers. So Devin Lloyd is also capable of getting lost in coverage at times. And, who knows what kind of help they're going to have over the top as Darnell Savage is ruled out for this week as well. So I think Devin Lloyd's coverage ability needs to be on point this week.
Avoid the season is over, time to go home. It's the holidays temptation. Some fans would celebrate a loss, but virtually no one wants to watch their team quit on the field, right?
Yep.
And that's not something that's been a big issue for this football team to this point, but the temptation for that grows bigger and bigger as the season gets deeper and deeper into it, and the injuries continue to mount up. Like the veteran guys, especially on the team that are more secure and where they're going to be next year, like that kind of thing becomes more and more of a factor as you get this late into this kind of a season. They have to avoid that kind of thing if they're going to have any chance to beat anybody, even a really bad Titans team.
This might not be a key, but I pray for anybody that has to tackle Devondre Sweat. Sorry, did you see the stiff arm he gave that dude? Was that last week when he picked up the fumble? Did you see that?
Don't let him have the ball. That would be a good start.
Ball. Oh my gosh, that would be brutal. I'd put him in the backfield on goal line if I was Tennessee. Like that guy, holy cow. But yeah, listen, you gotta win the turnover battle. You're both at -15 on turnover ratio. So you're both not very good.
A push is winning for this
push
team.
Is winning. That's
right.
That's
It really is.
Yeah, you're right.
Point.
You're right.
The Jags have lost. I don't know how many times they've had the turnover margin, but I mean, even when they have, it hasn't really mattered for this team. It hasn't been enough to overcome.
Right.
Well, they had it against Minnesota.
Yeah, that's true.
That I can think of, but they've got so few turnovers on the year. All right, I'll take Jags 17-13. Tony?
Okay.
I'll take Jags 13-12.
Okay.
I'm going to go.
Is that Scorigami? Is that a new one?
I don't know.
I don't know if we've ever had 13-12.
I'm going to say 24-10.
Oh, big.
I'm going to say our
offensive
offense
explosion.
I think Brian Thomas Jr. has a couple touchdowns, and I think our offense does pretty well.
All right. Well, Tommy Mack, Dad Bods upcoming.
A week from tonight, which will be January 3rd, 2025 at Culhane's in Atlantic Beach, starting at 8 o'clock, Mike.
Make your plans.
Are you proud of me? I gave you the time.
You did. You knew the location, the time, the date.
Yep.
These are all important things.
Getting better.
Awesome.
Better.
Well, hey,
more focus, attention to detail for Tommy Mack in 2025.
There you go. New Year's resolution coming out early. Tom will join us in the new year next Friday. So happy New Year to you and
happy
your family.
New Year. Same.
And
Same
to all of you out there, hope you get what you want, whatever that is,
Yeah.
this weekend. And different people want different results for this Jacksonville Jaguar team. We'll be back, obviously, to talk about it next week. And we'll wrap up the season here shortly and on to whether or not we've got seismic changes in this organization. It's coming up. All right, for Tom McManus, Tony Smith, and Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Thanks for listening to Jaguars Today. Stick around as Helmets and Heels is coming your way on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Happy holiday